I'm 95%
right?
sure that we already know, like they already know what the new season, like what maps they want.
Yeah,
It's just about timing. It's just about timing of when they
yeah.
want to implement it. Um, anyway.
Hopefully, we won't have to wait until after next year's convention. But you know,
Oh god, that'll be awful.
that is
That'll be
straight up the safe.
awful.
Yeah, it would. That's straight up the safest time. Like,
Uh,
if ESL wants to take a conservative approach, that's straight up the
uh,
safest timing. But as he said, that would be awful, and then we're stuck with that for like another year.
uh,
Unless they like switch every single map, right?
uh-huh.
Us all 7 new maps, but yeah, I somehow doubt it. But regardless, that is enough of that. We have our series here, our second semifinals of the evening, and surprisingly, kicking it off on Beckett Industries here on Beckett Industries, the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have the red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. DPG. He is going to be doing this for his fallen Terran boy. On the other side of the map, Euthermal. He is Cure.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Beckett Industries LE, we have the champion himself. His teammate also representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Zest. Also, quickly want to mention, place your bets, people. Predictions are open. Who wins this series, Zest or Cure? Who will move on to the finals to face Hero?
This is the only time you have to place your wagers. If you wait too long, you're not going to get your channel points. And also, if you're in Singapore, you're not going to get channel points anyway, because you're not allowed to wager that.
There you go. There you go. Swim on over to Indonesia and you'll be okay.
They also don't have it.
I
I think it's a blanket ban for APAC. I think Taiwan as well.
Is
Korea
it?
too.
I'm
Potentially. I'm not sure about Korea, but I'm pretty sure Taiwan.
I know you can
has
bet
that
in
as
Korea.
well.
You can bet.
Okay.
I don't know about Vietnam. I don't know about that one.
I would highly doubt Vietnam has it. Yeah.
But here we go. I love how aggressive Zest was being, by the way, forcing Cure to throw down his CC on the high ground. Very annoying.
As well here on Beckett. While you can.
Hashtag just Beckett things.
On more unique maps, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, this is what I love about ESL Asia. Sure, it's a best of 5, so they only get 1 veto each, but Beckett does make it through. That probably means that Blackburn was vetoed, but we'll see. We'll see.
Be shagging ass, huh?
Could have been.
We're just like Beckett, but bigger.
Yeah,
Much
and
bigger.
Zest opening up straight away with that Twilight Council.
Oh my. I already see a Dark Shrine coming up.
That would be insane. That'd be crazy. Yes, here we go. We do have. Yeah,
okay, it is gonna be Blink as an opener, but look, I know it is Terran, I know they can save a scan, but it's also Beckett. You can warp in your DT at home, move it across the map, and then hope that your Terran opponent barely doesn't have enough for a scan yet.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. That could happen. I mean, again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Dark Shrine later on in this game if it lasts that long. But so far, Blink is on the way. And just quickly checking the vision of Cure, he has not been able to get into the main base at all. He still has not scattered yet. But I say yet, because, again, he's still working on his opener. We're going to have a medevac being made. And my god, we have quite a lot of Marines already. Jesus. Oh my god. So yeah, this is gonna be a very, very quick stim timing here from Cure.
Yeah. I saw the amount of bio and I was very surprised that it wasn't a 3 racks and said we're getting a 2-on-1.
Exactly. So Stim is about to finish up, and by the time it finishes up, we're gonna have 2 medevacs as well. So Cure is gonna zoom across the map with his push. What is this? TVZ? I don't.
TVZ in 2018.
I honestly I want to say that this is the first time I've seen this against Protoss. I actually want to go that far. Like
I wouldn't. I've definitely seen 2-on-1 in TvP before. before, but not quite as quick as Cure is doing it here.
Yeah, this is interesting as he's going across the map, and oh boy, we'll see what this can do. At the same time, Zest is also going across the map, so we have like a weird scenario where both armies are missing each other completely, and both players are gonna hurt a lot from this.
That they are. Zest, of course, will have a recall eventually, but on the same side of that, but on the other side of that coin, you know, Cure has some reinforcements coming in here. He's got a tank on the way. If he keeps on the high ground, recall is used, but it's used in the natural base, so Cure still can get a ton of probes. He can even shut down the production here.
The pylon will go down. The stalkers have returned, and oh my god, the war prism actually goes down.
That it does. It's from a flying unit. Sometimes they get ahead of themselves. Massive Artosis pylon there shuts out so much production. Finally, the drop is getting cleared out, but at a cost of 9 probes that, I don't know, like 3-4 warping cycles here. I know it's just a pylon, but and I know that Zest wasn't researching anything, but still, that's a bunch of cycles that you do not want to be missing out on.
Yeah, and that was well worth it because at home, like, we have 2 tanks already set up, one in the natural, one in the main base. You know, Curie's not going to pull a euthermal and not have a tank in the main to survive against the Blink Stalkers. We even have a couple of some Buyer here to defend. Sure, the bunker isn't done. I mean, there is no bunker at all. Like, Cure, he's solid. Zest has to try and find a way in.
And he does, but it's so tough here. Cure is covering all his bases. He's got tanks. He's sending his reinforcing bio to cover those tanks. I mean, Zest can get a little bit of damage here, maybe an SCV or 2, but yeah, he has to dip out immediately once the bio sims in.
Yeah, exactly. Just can't find too much damage here, and we all know it. When behind, try and find a way to get ahead with Invisible Boys.
Exactly. That's verbatim the saying.
Exactly.
But yeah, as you said, Light, if the game goes on long enough, eventually we'll get a Dark Shrine. That's just kind of the law of Zest, you know?
Pretty much. He's really risking a lot here, but again, he had a really rough opening. Oh, speaking of rough, oh my god, the tanks doesn't get picked off.
Oh, it's still alive. It's still going to get a couple of volleys off. It's still going to be able to siege up later on. Finally gets picked off, but that is not going to be enough. GG, Cure takes game number 1.
Ooh.
I didn't notice it, but yeah, a ton of probes are falling across the map because there was a follow-up drop coming down.
That there was. Zest just didn't have enough. He was hoping he would maybe force Cure to stay at home and keep him busy there with his Blink Stalkers, but that was not the case. Couldn't really pull it off there. But again, that's just what happens after such a rough opening. Jesus.
Really is. And now I don't want to say build order loss.
No, they missed each other in the middle of the map. You know, it would have been completely different if one of them had seen, or if Zest had caught a glimpse of it, right?
If Zest caught a glimpse of that in the middle of the map, if he recalled to the main instead of natural, a lot of different things could have. A lot of things went wrong for Zest that could have gone right, but that's not going to be the case there. And from the shortest map, the smallest map, we get into the largest map.
There we go. Interesting. I'm shocked. I would have thought that this would have been one of the vetoes as well. I guess not. Yeah. Wow. They let this through. Bold move, Cure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is kind of Zest's. This is sort of Zest's home turf.
Yeah.
But speaking of home, here we are now on Romanticide LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, swatting all the way in the top left-hand corner, doing it for his home of Korea. We have the red Terran player going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG, as well as his other home, Six City, of which he is the mayor. He is Cure, going for the proxy.
Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Romanticide LE, we have South Korean Protoss, also representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, currently getting proxied. It is Zest.
Oh! Reciprocating the proxy!
Oh my!
This is why Zest and Cure have been in more finals than anyone else this season of ESL Pro Tour.
I think I favor Zest here. It depends, right? Like, so this Rax is about to finish up. We have plenty of gas to work with, by the way. Is he gonna lift up and proxy Marauder in the main?
That's what I'm hoping for more than anything. Yeah.
Let's go. Oh my
He needs to wall off
god.
back at home.
Jesus Christ, here we go. The Rax is done. Oh no.
Ah, Reaper first.
Doesn't go for it.
Lame.
There's so much room to work with.
It really is. Well, at least the Reaper will be able to get some probe kills. I mean, it's just gonna be a slow zealot coming out here for Cure, for Zest rather. But yeah, I think Cure hasn't realized what's coming his way. Now he does. He's
Yeah.
Scout.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the SCV scout did tell him that, hey, a pylon's missing, it's not here. So now I'm well aware that something is amiss. Doesn't know where it is, and oh, the Reaper actually goes back home.
Interesting. But the probe does not.
Oh, he does not. Zest, nicely done. He tucks it away off in a corner to make sure it survives. And now in comes the Zealots, ready to dive in. We have a pylon here, making things a little bit awkward as well. Oh god.
Yeah, it provides a little bit of high ground vision. Unfortunately, it is a finished pylon, so it's actually helping out the wall a lot right now for Cure. Wait, no, if Cure isn't careful, he might accidentally target it down.
It's true. It's true.
Open up that wall, like so.
Meanwhile, the Rax is on the way back home. Zest is just consolidating his army here. The Zealots, the Stalkers, they're all meeting up. He wants to try and catch this Reaper.
That he does. And he will be able to, hurting it like a goat.
Like a goat to a flame.
Yeah, like a goat to a bobby.
There you go. Oh,
Lamb
and...
to an Australian.
What? God damn it. But as soon as that pylon falls, like, yo, Zest could have an opportunity where he just could dive in. Oh, he even has that high ground vision that you were talking about earlier. Ay.
Doesn't have it anymore, but it'll help him chip away a little bit. And yeah, apart from this single mine, there's really nothing really threatened the forces of Zest. The barracks has only recently landed and it's not producing anything, so add-on will get taken out. Nothing in the bunker. This is...
Now he can get in. Now he just waltzes on in the SCV building, the CC. Oh my god, it couldn't get focused down. But the boys are being pulled because, again, Cure has to.
Like so. A single Cyclone will come out, and that's going to be enough to chase away the Stalkers, but the damage has already been dealt. So much of a delay, and now there are DTs coming out.
The proxies, they just don't stop. Dark Shrine is on the way. Thankfully, we will have 2 CCs, but ooh, we do have Cure just muling things up, because why not, right? Why wouldn't you mule up? You want to focus on your economy, especially when you're on one base like this. Doesn't expect the DTs.
Yeah. This sort of shows you how different Zest and Cure are, aren't they? Cure, his proxy, he stopped getting value out of his proxy, so he sent it back home. Zest, he wasn't getting enough value from his proxy, so he makes another proxy.
Yeah, that's how you... Oh my god, the scan is able to take out the first DT. The second one is looking to dive in, though, and doesn't want to go in too soon.
There's only one scan as of right now. That's the only form of detection.
Oh, no!
Oh, that Cure has, and the DT slips in!
DT does slip in. Now it's in the mineral line. There we go. The second scan is used, and the second DT will fall.
But what about the third DT? Or the fourth DT?
Oh, they're not in existence.
What about the third DT, Zest? What about the third DT?
There we go.
What about the fourth DT, Zest?
He needs to deal some damage now before the Raven comes out. There was an opportunity earlier where maybe the add-on could have been taken out. Instead, he goes for the depot.
Yeah, but I mean, the Raven is already on the way. There goes the final scan of Cure, but at this point, Zest just doesn't have it in him to warp in the DT. And if he does, I mean, the Raven's already going to be out, so... Cure, I mean, despite being... despite having a lot of pressure laid on him, despite being contained for this long, he's actually in a pretty comfortable position. He's behind on bases, but he's got mules.
Yeah, he does have mules. He does have to be careful though. Like again, one wrong move, the Raven dies, and then more DTs come in.
Yeah.
So he has to be very careful with his control. As the Stalkers are again being annoying, going to be looking to try and force a lift up of this natural. Yo, the base is getting low.
Yeah, lift it. Cure. He's taking such a massive risk. Cure. Don't underestimate Stalkers. Cure. You're losing even more workers, my guy.
Oh my god, but you know what? He holds onto his base at the cost of 5 more workers. Oh god.
Well,
no, he dives in!
At the very least, he does
the
dive
Raven.
in right on top of the tank, as well as the Raven. Not taken. Okay, I spoke too soon. We'll get taken out. So, you know, DTs can still have a massive effect here.
That they can.
Zest has a much lower army supply, but what is Cure going to do with his army? I mean, he can hold against this, but is he really going to go across the map? He might as well. Sim's about to finish up.
Yeah, I was about to say that Zest has been taking up a lot. Like, when it comes to, obviously, the Dark Shrine, the Twilight Council, on top of all of this, the Robo as well, Immortals, all the gateways are being thrown down for the gateway explosion. At the moment, Zest is a little bit vulnerable, but, I mean, the window is quite small here. So we'll see if Cure can utilize this. There's like 3 Stalkers to defend.
Yeah, so there's a lot that Cure can do here, but as long as Zest is able to hold the line for long enough, 5 gateways are going to finish up. Immortal's going to be out. Zest doesn't quite have enough of a bank to like massively warp in from all of those gateways, but still, the longer this goes, the better it is for Zest.
Definitely. So we'll see if Cure can get something done here. He does siege up. He's focusing on the Nexus. We do have a shield battery, so he can try and keep it alive. There it is. There's the overcharge, but the overcharge is not going to be enough. In comes the DT.
DT can do a lot against that tank. I feel like taking out this Nexus is worth it for Cure if he doesn't get anything else, but he doesn't even get the Nexus.
Oh my god, the overcharge was just too good. Yaku, the Nexus survives.
And it does. It's got half its shields restored. Soon to be all of its shields restored.
God. Cure spent so much there. He lost his tank. He doesn't have a follow-up tank. He's just got Marines and Marauders. That's it.
Well, sometimes that's all you need in a TvP. But
is that all he needs?
Maybe not in this case.
There we go. We do have a scan. The DT will go down. And meanwhile, Man with Gun is stimming on forward, but in come the Zealots. He's got charge.
And what do we say? Like, man with sword more than man with gun. Sometimes.
I mean,
always.
that's just math, mate.
It is, yeah.
It's
2 swords versus 1 gun. Come on. Come on.
Oh, God. Here we go. The War Prism is looking to sneak into the main base with a bunch of Zealots, pull apart the army, the quote-unquote army of Cure. And, mate, it's the Bing Bang Boom. You were talking about it earlier.
Yeah. That's a Protoss equivalent of the Bing Bang Boom. This time. That's coming in from the main. Mines not getting much of anything in the natural. And you know, Cure, he had an opening earlier on. There was a chance for him to come back in this game if he was able to kill that 3rd base, keep a little bit of that army alive, and defend back home. But yeah, unfortunately, nothing went right for him in those pushes, and now he is really paying the price.
Yeah, exactly. GG gets called, and Zest ties up the series 1-1.
Going into our King match. Not quite the Ace match, but second best thing.
Wow, what a game there. I mean, I thought that Zest was maybe like overcommitting a little bit too much to the aggression, but like he found value anyway. Obviously a big part of that all was Cure committed to the counterattack, and somehow he didn't kill the Nexus. That was disgusting. That was crazy.
He stimmed his heart out there, like you don't want to be stimming down to the red unless you know you can kill. Unless you know you can get massive value with that push, and Cure, he was about to get massive value with his push. Just that the shield battery finished up a second too early.
Yeah, shield battery. The Nexus also had enough energy for an overcharge as well. Like, oh boy, that was rough to say the least. But again, this is a pretty long series, best of 5. We are now tied up 1-1.
Uno.
Juanito.
Game. Like, when are we playing Uno?
What?
As Light checks his schedule and wonders about that, we are going to be continuing our series here on Oxide LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have the red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is, of course, not the sickness, but cure.
And spawning in the bottom left, we have representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is the South Korean Protoss player. He is blue. Tying up the series, we are 1-1 apiece. It is Zest.
Aquí, sí.
Sí.
Juan aquí.
Boy. Alright, here we go. Just, going for the probe first, scouting his opponent, just making sure everything's at home. No proxy.
Yeah.
Not this
Doesn't
time.
want to be caught off guard once again, and it is Oxide, so there's a few less spaces or a few less, really hidden positions to proxy. But if you don't scout the proxy, they're gonna hit a lot faster than on Romanticide. So
yeah, if you don't scout, then you don't see it coming.
Exactly. How can you see it coming if you don't see it not coming? If you don't see it,
how do you see it coming if you do not have eyes?
Exactly. Well, you smell it.
There you go.
Or you hear it. Well, yeah. Probably not taste, but I mean, if you want to taste it, maybe. But yeah, it's usually the smell of the hearing, right?
Oh boy.
Or the touch.
Meanwhile, we've seen this become a lot more popular recently. Like, it's just been popping up in these PVTs and these TvPs, if you will. We do have a proxy factory out here for Cure.
Yeah, no proxy barracks, but he was playing the proxy regardless, so he skipped out on his Reaper. Just wanted to have as much gas as possible to make sure that his factory is on time. Should be a Starport following that up.
SG1.
We'll see if he goes for the Hellion drop or the Automine drop. I didn't watch that yet. Steel Mold told me I should watch it, but I'm still trying to figure up TNG. I'm still finishing up TNG.
Then you gotta go for Battlestar Galactica. You gotta go for the trifecta.
Yeah.
Long sci-fi series. Oh boy. All right. Well, there it is.
40 minutes long. 10 seasons of them, and 24 episodes a season.
Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. F's in the chat for Yaku. But there is the starport that you were talking about. We are going to be seeing a Hellion drop into the main base of the Protoss. Vision?
No vision in the main.
Oh.
Or at least in the corner of the main.
Yeah, the problem is that Zest, like, he just hasn't been able to get into the main base. Ooh, the probe!
Oh!
No!
He got away! And now he'll be able to scout it, but is it too late? Probably not. I mean, the medevac is still only halfway done. And the problem with Zest early on was that he just didn't have vision in the corner of his main, but now he knows what's coming his way. He can send a couple of stalkers to defend.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about, how do you see something that you don't see? And, Zest shows us with the probe. And now he has his stalkers. Yeah, you just see it, man. He has his stalkers in position. He does dive on top of those Hellions. He focuses down the medevac, actually, and will lose a lot of probes as a result.
Well, yeah, I guess the medevac does have a lot of utility later on the line. Having 3 medevacs instead of just 2 when you push means you can stim a little bit more. You can't stim if you don't have sim, though, but it doesn't matter if you're able to draw the army away. 13 probes have gone down this game, thanks to the Hellions and thanks to the Marines.
Oh my god, that was great. That was beautiful. You want to calm down a little bit, though. As Cure does turn back around with his Marines, but that was beautifully done there. It did take a lot of supply, though, and a Widowmine was caught out in the middle of the map. Like, now, it's Zest's turn. Now, he is turning the tables. The tables have been turned, and the War Prism is here. He's ready to dive in. He's got Blink, mate. There's no tanks. The factory was across the map. It's only Marines.
It is only Marines. There are bunkers, but look at the body blocking from the Stalkers. I feel like Cure just poked the bear, and Zest goes on match point.
Oh my god, he didn't realize that Zest was born and raised in Chicago. Oh god.
Yeah. Welcome to the final hour or so of a broadcast, of a double broadcast for Light. Where we
yeah. Man, my brain is mush right now. It's gone.
Yeah, I like it. You know.
It's slushy. It's like
it's nice and tender. It's refreshing. When you slurp it up.
I could do a. I could go for a slushy right now. I could. That'd be amazing.
It has been really hot in Singapore, at least.
Yeah.
It's probably cooling down a little bit.
Same here. Like the problem here in Australia is it's not the problem with Australia. It's the problem with my room. Because of ANZ champs, I've actually got a bunch of lights set up.
Yeah. Did they send you the lights?
Yeah, they sent me the lights.
Oh, they just random IKEA lamps. Oh, okay.
No. There are 2 lights set up.
Lights, yeah.
Yeah. And you can adjust them and stuff, and they are just right in my face. And like the heat being generated from this room is enough to like power Singapore.
I mean, we're plenty hot already, so keep your lights away. It's been like they predicted like a lot of heavy rains for like the next 2 months. Mm-hmm. It rained heavily for 2 weeks, and now we're at like 33 degrees every day Celsius. But that is going to be enough about that. We are, of course, continuing our second semifinals of the evening, potentially concluding it. Hopefully not, here, as we are hoping to get a non-PvP finals, potentially. Here on Lightshade, LE, we're in the top left-hand corner map. Lightshade sounds like some light ones right now. Lightshade is like your desire. In the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, the Red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. Going for another proxy, he is Kyo.
I appreciate it. And spawning in at the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Korean player who is currently getting proxied by his opponent. It is, of course, the Protoss himself on DPG Dragon Phoenix Gaming. It is Zest. He only needs un Juanito, mate.
And he does. You know what I just realized? We are guaranteed a DPG finals.
Oh, true. We have nothing but DPG.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're so highly rated.
DPG?
And like the power ranks and whatnot.
He is meanwhile, Zest does go down. He scouts, confirms the bunker, knows something is up, something is amiss here. Oh my god.
Confirms that there is a proxy out somewhere on the map. And now it's just defense mode for Zest.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, he's forced to make the initial Zealot. The Zealot does pop out. He's going to be able to focus down this bunker. The Reaper is on the way. He's going to dive straight into the main base and try and get some probe kills.
Once again, from Cure, it's proxy Reapers into just a 1-1 back at home, which...
Yeah.
I'm sure Cure knows something that we don't. I mean, he probably has a lot of success with this on the ladder and in other matches, but so far in the series against Zest, I mean, it's pretty much just putting him behind.
Like, for me, it's not
time.
For me, it's not necessarily about, like, you know, where it puts him economically or socially or like, you know,
or academically,
or physically, right? Yeah, like, it's not about that for me. For me, it's about style, right? Like, I want to see your proxy Marauder, you know? I want to see some proxy goes. Like, if you got a proxy, mate, you know? Show off, right? Instead, just a Reaper? Like, mate, really? Okay. Sure. I guess.
You sounded a little bit like a drunken caller into like a talk show. So he's like, I don't care about the economy, Nathan. Dr. Oz, I just want to see the Marauder. You lift it up, you go into the main. That's all I want.
Yeah. The Bears.
The Bears. That's so much to ask for the Bears to win.
That's
The Chicago Bears.
Oh my god.
With Mike Ditka.
Well, the problem is that currently, like, it is the Bears who's winning. You know, it is Zest, right? Like, he shuts down the proxy. It flies all the way back home. Kira doesn't even have a natural right now. He's forced to make it in his main base. Like, the hell's going on?
It's the Bears. I don't know. 3 racks is going to be the follow-up coming up from Cure. Not a 1-1-1, which I actually appreciate a lot. I feel like this would hit a lot harder and at a much more appropriate timing than if you tried to go for the medevac or whatnot.
Yeah, like, this is going to be insane, right? Stim is already on the way. +1 is on the way. This is going to be a very strong bio timing with tanks. Like, this is going to be terrifying, mate.
Absolutely. I'd be quaking my boots right now if I was Zest, so I'm just looking at what his defenses are looking like. He's got a shield battery in his natural. He's getting blink, which is... He is.
Oh, no, he's not. Oh. He's not doing it again, mate.
That he ain't. That he ain't. 1 purification over. 1 purification over. That's all he needs.
That's all he needs. That's all he needs, just like the amount of games that he needs. Because right now, I was assuming that we were going to see a Warp Prism. No, we see an Immortal instead. Sure, we have 3 gateways, but instead, we are going into that splash damage. And I love this. As to add to injury, Zest gets a full scout.
He does. That's how you stop this. He knows there's 3 racks, and he knows that Cure has to be aggressive. There's no way he's going to try to macro out now. Otherwise, he's going to miss his window.
Exactly. You don't want to miss that. Not at all. And now Curie's going to be looking to try and go across the map. Will he, though? Right? Because he just got scouted. Do you risk it?
You kind of have to. At this point, I mean, his upgrades are about to finish up. He knows that this is going to be the strongest his army is going to be. The strongest his army is going to be compared to Zest for a while. He might as well go across the map, see what he can get done. If the army gets wiped out, it's worth it if he can kill a base.
Yeah, it's a big if indeed. Meanwhile, Cyclone does get focused down, does get chased away. Upgrades are finishing up, and finally the first 2 medevacs are out. Now that they're out, here we go. We are sending it across the map. Only a drop, though. It looks like the tanks are gonna stay at home.
Okay, use them a bit more defensively. Cure hesitating slightly, which could spell a little bit of doom. Zest is going across here, just trying to see if he can snipe something out before it hits. So he's actually bringing his army to the middle of the map.
Yeah, he's very out of position right now. Like, sure, like 3 stalkers can intercept, but can they really? Oh my god, they actually forced him to turn around.
Apparently they can, yeah.
I was not expecting that. I was like, yo, he could probably just boost on forward and just commit into the main. But in the end, he does turn around, plays it safe.
And doesn't want to risk too much. Doesn't want to pull you something.
No one wants to pull you thermal, man.
Ay.
Oh, God. It's okay, he can't hear you. He's asleep now.
Yeah,
he's in a better place. He's streaming. But there are no Protoss at all. It's just nothing but TvTs. You know, it's balanced. That's the whole thing should be. He's got hair as well. He's
oh man!
It's beautiful, Yaku. It's beautiful.
So in his dreams, he's not a weeb, yeah. And people believe him when he says he's not a weeb.
We love you, Mark. We love you.
We do.
Oh god! All right, here we go.
Check
Zest
out
is now.
stream, guys.
Check him out. Check him out. Uwu Thermal at Twitch. This is
And his YouTube channel.
That is YouTube. That is YouTube. Like, this is terrifying, right? Zest started the Colossus production very early on, and he got away with it. Cure never pushed out, right? He tried to go for a drop, and he got thwarted. He went back home. You have to respect him for keeping his army alive. Like, he hasn't needlessly lost anything, but at the same time, he has allowed Zest to get up this Colossus count. At the same time, though, Zest, do you want to push into all these siege tanks?
Definitely not. They're very well spread out. Cure has actually got his Marauders in the front to soak up whatever Colossus splash that they can. This is such a good defensive position for Cure, right?
Yeah, the Stalkers, like, he's just getting shelled away at. We do have a bit of a run by though. Like, Zest wants to try and distract the army and then go into the natural.
Yeah. Or best case scenario, you know, sandwich the tanks and then just let the bio count crumble, but he's kind of missing that now. Cure is pushing out with the army that he's got.
Yeah, exactly. Zest, he gets pushed all the way back to his natural, and meanwhile, there we go. He pulls the trigger. There is one tank, but it's only one tank.
Yeah, very exposed as well. Those Zealots are going to get quite a bit of value done, but the reinforcing bio should be able to clean that out, or not even, yeah. The bio there with the SCVs is going to be enough to clean that out. Seems like a very early time to pop battery overcharge before any major fight is happening, but this is what Zest is forced to do because of how well positioned these siege tanks are.
Oh my god, and in the end, the Zealots actually did come all the way back home. He tried to go for a sandwich, but the Zealots all went down. Can he break this position regardless? 3 Colossus, that's a lot of DPS.
That's a lot of DPS. The Immortals actually tanking some tank shots and putting in their anti-armor damage too. Cure had a really good siege position, but he was not expecting the charge-lit sandwich from behind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, his defensive position as well was beautiful, but when he pushed out across the map, he was not ready for the surround, for the wraparound, and just like that, he lost every single tank, and now he's going for a doom drop.
And Zest is definitely out of position. This won't be enough to end the game, but should be enough to snipe some key tech at the very least, or kill the base. If not, get a couple of pylons.
Oh, yes, be careful. Yes, let's cover the Colossus. The Colossus! No, both
is going to be answer, and he just dips on out of there. Immortal's still standing strong, but mate, it's resetting the Colossus count. If you look at the units lost tab, actually about even, but still. Cure can afford to lose what he's lost compared to Zest.
Exactly, like, that was massive there. Cure catching 2 of those Colossus was insane. Now there's only 1 remaining here. I was so concerned when I get Zest, he saw the drop and he responded to it, and he left the Colossus alone. He was too distracted towards the north, and he paid the price for it. Now, what do you do if you're Zest? Well, you gotta blink DTs.
Yeah, might as well. You accumulate a bit of a bank and then utilize every single one of your gateways to just spend it in a second.
Yeah, and that is a really nice way to get back into this. There is a missile turret in the natural, but again, with Blink DTs, you can overcome that quite easily. Before that happens, though, Zest has to be careful. Ghosts, they have EMPs.
And they do. You don't want to get those EMPs on top of those ETs. The force field was on point, but it was just a second too late. And like so, another Colossus falls.
Exactly. Like, force fields are good, but you know what's better? Things in the air. Vikings, they don't care about your force fields. He ignores it completely, just shuts down that Colossus, and now Zest has to transition into something else, and he has started disruptor production.
It's pretty much given up on the Colossus when there are these many Marauders and Vikings on the map. DT is actually getting a lot of value across the map, as well as just distracting the army of Zest for quite some time. I don't believe the EMPs landed.
Yeah.
If they did, they landed on units that already died. Doesn't matter though. Curious are going to end this. The Disruptor! Battery overcharge, keeping it alive! And it will get the Purification Nova. Cure almost sniped the Disruptor before the Nova landed. But you never underestimate the battery overcharge. I think Zest has done it just like that.
Exactly. All Zest had to do was hold and defend, and he does more than that. He just shuts down this push. At the same time, the Zealots and DTs have still not been dealt with. Cure. GG gets called.
We get our PvP finals.
Wow, GG, well played. Cure had some very good moments there, but again, that War Prism sneaking into the main base was absolutely huge. He wreaked havoc, and then he was forced to go in, and that fight was so close. Imagine what would have happened if he did manage to get that Disruptor, and that Purification Nova didn't go off.
I mean, there are a lot of what ifs there for Cure, right? What if he got that Disruptor before the Purification Nova? What if his first drop actually didn't get scouted and did manage to land in the main base of Cure? What if he went for the 3-racks push and was able to take out Zest, right? But that was what happened, unfortunately. And Zest, he understood his win condition. He was really trying hard to get to scout, to get a sense of what Cure was going for. He was more than happy to just adapt to his opponent. Even if Cure got those moments off well, and well, even if Cure got those victories, right, with the 3-racks or with the drop or whatnot, it's not hard to imagine that Zest would just switch things up.
Very true.
I take that anyway.
Yeah, regardless, they were two very strong opponents, and they had an intense, insane series. They both had their moments to shine. In the end, Zest did come out on top, and now, personally, I'm happy for this, because I want to go as far as to say if it was Cure versus Hero in the finals, it may have been a little bit more one-sided.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah. 100%.
100%.
But Zest versus Hero PvP, hey, Hero has
Zest,
a chance to avenge his ex-military compatriot.
He absolutely does. I mean, you know, Zest's PvP is still some of the best in the world, just flat out top 3 at the very least, but it's not quite what it once was. You know, Trap has been really Trap and Zound, I think, are the two big ones that have really been contesting that title. And of course, just the fact that Zest, he isn't a monster in the matchup like he once was.
Yeah. I mean, it's PvP, you know, like it can be very unpredictable. And
who's more unpredictable than our smiling assassin?
Exactly, like this is the matchup that Hero wanted, and we've seen how close these series can be with Zest and these other Protoss players, like Classic, like Haas even as well. So yeah, and Creator, of course we can't forget about Creator. So we'll see how Hero can perform here. I would love to see some Stalker on Stalker action. I would be very surprised if we end up in like some standard, like, you know, no rush 10 minutes, like up to like we get up to like the mid game Disruptor versus Disruptor. Like that's not the PvP that we're about to have.